Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's jump right into Ready to Love. This is episode 8. I took a little bit of notes, but trust me, this is going to be quick. This is what you call your typical filler episode, but I feel like the rest of the season is going to be a filler. We can kind of see who was really vibing with who and who's going to end up with who. The only true decisions I feel like is out there is will Jay pick Joy or Winter? And we already know he kind of feeling Joy. And who will Calfani end up with? Is he really going to switch over to Adriana over Denise? Let's talk about it. Last week, I went off last week. I talked for about 40 minutes, and I know that was at least 15 minutes too long. Because I try to keep my videos at 20, 25 minutes, maybe under 20 minutes if it wasn't that good. And somebody got in the comments and was like, girl, they vibing with me, but they was like, you talking too long, I gotta log off. And I was like, damn, well, what minute did you log off so I can know how long was I talking? But some of you all did watch to the end, and I appreciate that. Your girl loves to talk, that's why I'm on YouTube. But let's get right into it. I honestly feel like this is ready to survive, not ready to love. Like, I'm just ready to stay on TV. I just want to talk to and kiss whoever I got to do to get a vote. I don't feel like anyone really truly cares to make a connection. They just want to stay on TV. And if that's what it is, let it be that. 2 people got to go home this week. And maybe that's why we saw the desperation, because especially from the women, especially because the guys already knew one of their asses was getting ready to go home. The women really, I saw the desperation of, not even the desperation of love, but the desperation of ready to stay on TV. So Tommy tell everybody 2 people got to go. They eat some breakfast. Everybody's sitting in tables of 2s. And the first thing I noticed is Calfani and Adriana are paired up in a 2 instead of Denise and Calfani, because I thought Denise was Calfani's number 1. And this whole episode, I don't think I seen Calfani with Denise one time. I really think at the end of the episode, he said Denise has calmed down. But I think it might be a little bit too late. It's like a day late, a dollar short. However that saying go. I kind of like Calfani and Adriana together. Calfani has a young spirit. Like, he likes to joke and maybe a little bit more, I don't want to say he childish, but just he has a young spirit. That's how I'm going to say. And I feel like his vibe matches Adriana's vibe. I don't really too much mind them together, but I do feel like Adriana just lusts after Calfani. She just wants to sleep with Calfani. And I think she likes to twist that knife into Denise of, aha, I got your man. You know, I'm still watching you, girl. Jay and Joy went to a wine tasting. I thought that was a good event. It was not entertaining on TV. They finally kissed on the lips. And from that kiss, Joy is feeling Jay. Like, Edwin, you don't have no chance. The way she grabbed that man's lips with her lips, I said, that's a kiss of passion. That's a kiss of, I want you and a little bit more, but I'm going to behave myself on television. That was a true kiss. Now, Joy, I ain't like that outfit you had on. It looked like you had on a house coat. I ain't like that white dress. But Jay gives me player vibes, because when he saw Winter with Anthony, he was like, you with my girl. I've always said Jay gives me player vibes. Like, to me, Jay is the one who has a decision to make. I kind of like him more with Winter, but let's move on through the episode. Rasheed and Adriana meet up to do something, to take pictures. They talking about having these 3 boys and the kind of parents they gonna be with the best. I'm not entertaining. Those pictures was cute. I thought that was a fun date. We know it was an advertisement for them Polaroid cameras, and my ass ain't buying one. But I thought it was cute, because that's nostalgic. You know, we ain't seen no Polaroid in a long time. But that was cute. Symone is talking with Edwin. Now, this was the scene of the episode that I was just like, girl, it's time to go home. Symone was the one who I saw the most desperation for, because she was going around to everybody saying, you know, you in my top. You know, you one of my top guys. What's going on? Who is your top? One thing I want to say about Symone before I read her down just a little bit. I ain't even going to read her down. I'm just going to say what I got to say. Symone be rocking them bikinis. Symone rocks those bikinis. That's probably why she stayed so long. Girl, you look good. You look good. Your problem is, and I had to, in the car, I was questioning myself. You don't know how to turn your lawyer switch off. Like, you having this conversation with Edwin. One, you're asking him questions, and then you kind of like Brian. You aren't listening. You aren't allowing this man to get 10 words out of his mouth before you right there with the follow-up question. You know, you got any brother, you know, who's all in your family? You got any siblings? What your mama do? Oh, where your daddy was at? He live in the same like I was like, can you let this man talk? Like, you asked him a question, and then when he answers your question, you don't believe him. The man said he don't give a damn that his daddy ain't come to none of his sporting events. How could you not give a damn? He lived in the same town. What do you mean that didn't hurt your feelings? That should hurt your feelings. Like, how you gonna tell this man how he feel? And Symone, you don't know how to read the room. Clearly, once you start talking about his dad issues, that was a subject he didn't want to go down that road with you. But you steady pressing and pressing and pressing, and he's like, this is getting on my last nerve. I'm surprised he didn't get up and leave. But Edwin is nice. Edwin is nice. He should have got up and left. Like, look, I don't want to talk about this. I had to ask myself, Angie, because you know I'm an accountant. When I have conversations with people, do I know how to turn my accounting brain off in certain situations? Now, when I'm with my friends and I know how to have certain conversations and be crazy, Angie, you know, have fun. But I do always have my numbers brain on. Like, I tell people all the time, you can fool me about anything but some numbers. Like, you could fool me. You could say, Angie, you don't know how to pronounce your words correctly. Angie, you can't remember this saying correctly. You could fool me on a lot of things, but not numbers. When it comes to counting money, when it comes to accounting financial statements, when it comes to anything that has to do with business and numbers, no. And I do always tend to tie a business reference or an accounting reference into certain scenarios. So sometimes it can be hard to flip that switch. But Symone, you got to work on turning that lawyer, interrogating, cross-examination, stick it to you in the courtroom thing off when you're trying to get to know someone, because you've done it to several men this season. And it's a turnoff, Symone. So I think maybe when you get home and you watch this back, that might be something you can pick up on. Now, they at this group table, and everyone is getting on Brian for him not being able to give an answer. And I call it his bullshitting. Like, he's making fun of when Tommy asked him if he's stronger or weaker with Alex. He said streaker. Like, because he can't give a yes-no answer. Anyway, I don't care nothing about that. I really don't care nothing about Brian and Alex. We can see them breaking up slowly, minute by minute, in front of our faces. So, moving on from them. It seems like it was the girls' turn to do a rapping session. Brian did a rapping session, but his rapping session sucked. But the girls, they all seemed to kill it. I like how Alex, in front of Brian, was like, I don't remember the words, but she said, some of y'all think I'm feeling Brian, but I really feel Rasheed, or I like Rasheed. I like how she called out, like, Brian, don't get it twisted. I got something going on with Rasheed, too. Who I need to open their eyes is Rasheed. Like, I think Rasheed needs to open his eyes and see that he may have lost Ariana and see, is that her name? Adriana. I hope he can see where things goes with Alex. Like, see if you can get something going with Alex. Winter and Anthony go out on a date. Winter looked good in that Jamaican two-piece outfit she had on. That was cute. That was a perfect resort outfit. Winter wants Anthony to fight for her because Jay came up, and that's when Jay came up and said, "You always with my girl." And I think, as I said before, Winter, you the one who needs to do some fighting. I want to know, forget all of that. I want to know what happened with Winter and Edwin. Because just a week ago, you were all on a double date with y'all BFFs talking about we each other's 1 and 2, and we all 4 of us like each other. And Symone, I told y'all last week, Symone said on Twitter that Edwin and Winter got in a huge argument and they ain't fooling with each other no more. I feel like it's a hole in the show. You can't have these people going on double dates with their best friends and y'all each other's number 1s and number 2s, and now y'all don't even look at each other. I want to know who is production protecting. Obviously, someone had to say something completely out of the way. I mean, total disrespect. I don't know who said what to who. I want to know who production is protecting, because it's no way you can have this type of conflict on this type of reality show and not show it and just leave a gap in the storyline of what happened to Winter and Edwin. I hope y'all say at the reunion. Okay, moving on from that. Now, Symone, she the one who come up to Calfani talking about, you still in my top. And I'm like, when? When did you and Calfani even go on a date? Have y'all had a conversation? Calfani is in your top, Symone. And then she went to Brian and said that Brian was in her top and she wants to be on a consistent basis of getting to know him. Yes, they need consistency. And even Brian was looking like, look, I know things ain't working with Alex, but you ain't never talked to me, girl. I said, Symone, you look desperate just to stay on TV and you too cute for that. Finally, they get to this party and I see spades. And I wish I could have seen more of the spades game, because that spades game was probably more entertaining than the rest of this episode. I don't care what nobody else had to say when they was talking to Tommy. The one thing I noticed the most at the end of the episode is that Calfani says Adriana is now his number 1. She has beat out Denise as of right now. Let's give the deuces. Peace out to Brian and peace out to Symone. I like how Alex was the one, and this was a group breakup. It wasn't no individual go off in the middle of the night and break up. This was a group breakup. Alex stood up in front of the group and said, Brian, you ain't serious. I never downplayed my relationship with you. Even when we was going through our problems, I never made it seem like you wasn't nothing to me. I always told people I had a connection with you. So forget you. You ain't ready to love. And Brian, I liked how this week everyone graciously accepted and walked off. I thought that if Brian left, Alex would have to leave as well. But oh no, they said, Symone, it's your turn. Symone, you ain't had a connection all episode. All season. Not episode, but all season. I've never seen you connect with anyone. You started off on the wrong foot of who got a passport. You started off snitching, telling people, running and telling that Jay and Winter was in the bedroom together with their shirts off or whatever you said. And then even after the snitching, you was just desperately trying to figure out who you can do anything with to stay on the show. I ain't even like how you kissed Rasheed in the mouth last week. That ain't even save you. So, girl, you got a good amount of airtime. I hope you got your followers up. You the one spilling the tea on Twitter, and I appreciate the good tea. But it was time for you to go. And all I got to say is, Alex, count your days. Because if you can't work something out with Rasheed, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I think, Edwin, your days are numbered too. Because Joy wants Jay. Like, she does not want you. You need to realize, and we can go ahead and get to the end of this thing, because I only really care about the Joy J Winter circle, who's going to prevail, and this Cal Fani Denise and Adriana circle, who's going to prevail. Everyone else is just playing around for airtime. All right, so let's end that there. You all, 15 minutes, some good talk. The episode didn't give me nothing to really be passionately wanting to discuss. So we'll see what happens next week. All right. I hope it gets a little bit better. But get in the comments and let me know what you all thought of this week's episode. And I'll be back next weekend for the next review. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.